This will be for the Khan exercise, completing the square intermediate. So Khan Academy also has an exercise, completing the square intro. I highly suggest you do the intro one first. So they want us to rewrite this function by completing the square. We're going to get this function into this form right here. So as you can see, this is a quadratic function. It's in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. And what we're going to do is take half of the b, which is the coefficient with x. We're going to take half of that and then square it. All right. So first, what I'm going to do is rewrite this function. And what you want to do is leave a space after the x. So we have x squared minus 4x, and then plus space, okay, and then plus 70, and then plus another space. So you want to leave a space after the x and a space after the constant term. Okay, what you want to do is take the number that's with x, you take half of it, so half of -4 is -2, and then you want to square it. All right, so the -2 gets squared. Use parentheses, please. It's going to be -2 squared. Okay. Actually, you know what? I want to fill in the correct number here. So right here, in parentheses, all right, -2 squared. But we know that -2 times -2 is 4. So right here, I'm going to put a 4. All right, -2 squared is 4. Okay. Now, you can't just add 4 to an equation without balancing it out. So if I'm adding plus 4 here, I'm going to add a -4 over here on the end. Okay, you can use parentheses if you want, but it doesn't matter. All right, and now what we're going to do is factor this right here. So let's see. What are two numbers that multiply to 4 and add to -4? Well, if you write out the factors of 4, you have +2 times +2 and -2 times -2. Which pair adds to -4? Well, that's this right here. Okay? So that's going to be, you don't have to write this step just yet, but that's going to be x minus 2 times x minus 2, because we just used the -2's from the factoring tree. However, you don't need to do this step, okay? What you can do is write the parentheses with the x, and then just take this -2 and put it inside the parentheses, and that gets squared. Okay, x minus 2 squared will give you this right here. Okay, you can use FOIL or distribute if you want to check, but if you take the number you got when you took half, it will always work when you put it in the parentheses. And the only step that's left is to simplify this part right here. Okay, 70 plus -4 is the same as 70 minus 4. That's going to be -66. Final answer, x minus 2 squared minus 66. So x minus 2 squared, it's the same as x plus -2. And then over here, we had 70 minus 4, that was 66. Okay, so you can't write x minus 2. You have to write x plus -2. Okay, in this case here, it's almost the same thing, but the blank space is on the other side of the equal sign. So when we set it up, we need to use the blank space on the other side of the equal sign. So I'm going to write x squared plus 2x, and I'm going to leave a blank space after the x. And since I have a negative 35 here, I'm going to add 35 to both sides to get my constant term on the right-hand side. Okay, so here 35 minus 35 cancels. And this is going to equal 0 plus 35, which is 35. And you want to leave another blank space. So just like last time, you leave a blank space after the x and a blank space after the constant. The only difference is the constant is on the right-hand side of the equal sign this time. Okay, so just like last time, you look at the term with x. Okay, I'll do it in a different color. You want to take half. So half of positive 2 is just positive 1. And then you want to square it. So positive 1 squared. Well, 1 times 1 is just 1. Okay? And if we add a plus 1 on this side of the equal sign, we have to do plus 1 on the other side as well. Remember, you do the same thing to both sides of the equal sign. And now we can factor this part right here. Okay? And like I said, you don't have to do the factoring tree. Just use the number you got when you took half. So that's going to be x plus 1. Okay, because it's a positive 1, and that gets squared, and that is going to equal 35 plus 1, which is 36. So this right here is your final answer. So we had x plus 1 squared equals 36.